Hey everyone, buckle up, because the Genshin leak scene just exploded again. And this time, it's all about one name, Sandrone. Now we've seen leak waves before, but this one's different. It's coming straight from HXG and Full Stop Chan, two names that don't usually miss. And they're hinting at something huge for the later part of the 6.x cycle. Apparently, Sandrone isn't just another Harbinger joining the roster. She's rumored to be what the files call a main focus character. And that's not all. Her reaction type? A completely new one called Lunar Crystallize. Yeah, I can already feel the confusion setting in. What does that even mean? Don't worry, we're unpacking everything step by step. Let's start with that main focus character tag, because it's throwing a lot of people off. The leak literally says something like, if you don't know what a main focus unit is, think of Castorish, Fion, or Serene. Which makes zero sense if you've never touched Honkai, Star Rail. So here's the translation. A main focus character is basically the face of an entire patch. They get the trailers, the story spotlight, the cinematic teasers, and half the marketing budget. In Genshin terms, think Archons or Fatui Harbingers like Mavuika, Arlecchino, and Nouvellette. These weren't just characters, they were entire events. So if this leak is right, Sandrone might not just be another Fatui name drop. She'd be one of the defining icons of the Natlan Nodcry era, pushed on the same level as Columbina or Alice. Now that sounds amazing, but there's a big problem. The 6.x lineup is already insane. We've got Columbina, Alice, Nicole, Varka. It's a lore overload. So players are split. Some are saying, there's no way Hoyoverse gives Sandrone that spotlight while Alice is waiting in line. Others argue, hey, Full Stop Chan has been right before, and Hoyoverse loves surprise spotlights. And honestly, they're not wrong. Remember Fontaine? Everyone thought Farina would completely overshadow everyone, but in the end, Nouvellette became just as central to the story. So it's totally possible for multiple big names to share that spotlight. Now let's talk about the real bombshell, Lunar Crystallize. This term alone has thrown the entire community into chaos. We all know Crystallize is the Geo reaction that's, let's be honest, been sitting at the bottom of the meta since 2020. Sure, it gives you shields, but compared to Vaporize, Melt, Bloom, or Hyperbloom, it's like bringing a spoon to a sword fight. So when players saw Lunar Crystallize, reactions went wild. Some people joked, oh great, I'm finally crystallizing with the moon now. Others thought it might just be a rebrand, like how Lunar Bloom didn't fix Bloom for everyone, just for Nouvellette. And that's the big concern. Will Lunar Crystallize be a true Geo rework, or just a Sandrone exclusive gimmick? But here's what's practically confirmed. If Crystallize is part of her kit, Sandrone has to be a Geo character. That's literally how the combat system works. Crystallize can't happen without Geo. So yes, Sandrone is almost definitely Geo. And that's exciting because we haven't had a truly major Geo DPS since Navia. Geo mains have been starving for something new. There is another leak about new Geo Lunar reaction, but source is totally new, so we can't trust them 100%. But according to a leak coming from Indo community, in Lunar Crystallize, when Geo and Hydro will hit enemies, they'll make something called crystal cores. These core will explode in some certain duration and will deal real damage to enemies. Lunar Crystallize will totally ignore enemies' defense, while dealing crystal core explode damage. I tried to find more about this information, but didn't find a single thing apart from this post. So probably someone made it up. But still, I mentioned it in case it's true. So yes, Sandrone is almost definitely Geo, and that's exciting because we haven't had a truly major Geo DPS since Navia. Geo mains have been starving for something new. Navia gave us style, sure, but even she depends on tight setups to hit her peak. Sandrone, with a new Lunar Crystallize mechanic, could finally give Geo that massive push it's been needing for years. The community, of course, jumped straight into theory crafting mode. Some of the memes are hilarious. People joking Sandrone will give Navia 6 instant bullets and a 60% Geo RES shred. Others think Lunar Crystallize might tie into her mechanical companion Palonia, her automaton puppet. Imagine this. Instead of Crystallize just making weak shields, it actually fuels Palonia's attacks or turns shards into damage boosts. That fits her theme perfectly, the marionette controlling machines and constructs. And it's not far-fetched. We saw Hoyoverse start this trend with Navia. She's the first Geo character whose kit directly benefits from crystallized shards. So this could be the next step in that evolution. Still, skepticism is high. Many players think Lunar Crystallize will be another selective mechanic that benefits only Sandrone. And if that happens, it'll be a massive missed opportunity. Because if Lunar Crystallize worked for everyone, it could finally revive Noelle, Ningguang, Albedo, and every other neglected Geo unit. But let's be real, Hoyoverse doesn't usually buff old kits unless it sells new banners. Now about her release window, this leak is a bit of a whiplash moment. Just a few weeks ago, rumors claimed Sandrone wouldn't even be playable in the 6.x cycle. Now suddenly she's a main focus character with a brand new reaction. That's a massive turnaround. So yeah, take this with a pinch of salt. Leaks change constantly. What's more likely is that Hoyoverse is testing her internally, and her final release timing depends on how they want to space out the spotlight between Harbingers and big lore characters, like Alice and Nicole. And if there's one thing we've learned, Hoyoverse loves turning Harbingers into event-level releases. Look at Arlecchino. She wasn't just a banner, she was the patch. Full cutscenes, special mechanics, top-tier animations, everything. So if Sandrone's next, expect that same treatment. Massive story focus, high production values, and a kit tied deeply into her puppet and Geo constructs. So what can we actually take away from all this? Sandrone is almost certainly Geo. That Lunar Crystallize mention locks it in. Her main focus tag is believable, but not guaranteed, given the crowded lineup. Community reactions are a wild mix, hype, memes, and cautious skepticism. And honestly, that's the perfect state for any big leak. Because one thing's for sure, if Sandrone's really coming, Hoyoverse won't make her mid. She's a harbinger. That means flashy, powerful, and marketable, whether it's through a complete Geo rework, an exclusive reaction, or sheer style. She'll be designed to sell. So the question now is, will Lunar Crystallize finally revive Geo for good? Or will it just be another shiny feature locked behind a new 5-star unit? Either way, Geo mains, it's our time to hope again. And that's the full breakdown on the Sandrone situation. If you're hyped for Geo's comeback, hit that like button. It really helps the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already, because we'll be covering every new 6.x leak as it drops. Now tell me in the comments, are you saving for Sandrone or going all in for Columbina? Let's talk theories down below. Stay safe, travelers, and I'll see you in the next one.